Take me through the timeline of you finding out that Tupac got shot in Vegas and you finding out days later that he didn't make it.
Um, I believe I was talking to one of my cousins, and he was like, the big fight coming up next week. Ask you shooting to the fight, yada 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 yada. Now, I'm thinking, I might go because I went to UNLV. I played football in Vegas, so I know all the shenanigans that goes on. So I'm thinking maybe then, uh, you know, I know Pac gonna be out there. Pac and Tyson real cool. I'm cool with Tyson as well. But the reason I didn't want to go because if I would have pulled up on Tyson and would have been back there with Tyson and Pac would have came back, the chances of me and Suge bumping heads would have been highly likely. I wasn't running from him. I was just avoiding, bro. Because I already know what's gonna happen. You dig? So everybody was telling me about the fight. It's gonna go down and yada 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 yada. I believe I talked to Snoop. Snoop was going out there with Death Row. And I don't remember what happened. I forgot what he told me. I think he missed his flight or something. And he ended up not going. Right around that time, him not going, they moving around to the different hotels. And that's when Pac, see the boy from that situation, they snatched his chain. That escalated to a whole nother thing. That's when they jump him in the lobby. You see Pac jumping him. Cat they was jumping, but no Punk. So it was already a funky situation from there. I did hear some other things going on, you know what I'm saying? I ain't finna say too goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? But it was escalating. It slowly escalating because Suge had a club out there, and that's where they was on their way to. I think it's called Chasins. They was on their way to Chasins.
Club 662.
Chasins. Yup, that's Chasins. I see. I knew it from. I go back. I know the baby names and government names and shit, but that was it came to that. But that's where they was going. But they had already after that uh, 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 before the situation happened, they had already got calls from the Rips, all the Crips, like, yeah, nigga, okay, that's how y'all doing it. Well, we on our way up there. So they was already on alert at 662 because it's a gang of Crips out there in Vegas too. The down the streets, I can't say too many, but it's some cat. So it was finna go down. And it just so happened that what happened to Pac happened to him. Nigga slid down the side of the road and did what he did. But I don't know. The shit was, my heart was hurt, homie. Because I'm thinking this shit didn't have to happen. And me being from Vegas, not being from Vegas, but going to school there, I knew the hospital they had him in. Man, that spot is like one of the best spots in the country. Humana, if they couldn't save him, he must have been, I'm like, wow. Because when I first heard it, I got a thing of confidence. I was like, oh, he gonna be fine. If it's some superficial shit and he had Humana, oh, they gonna pluck them bullets out of me, having him wrapped up and bandaged up in no time. And I was like, I rocked with that for some hours. I'm like, ah, Pac gonna be fine. Then I got the word that they was not looking so good. And I'm hearing this from people that I know that's in the hospital. I say, X, it's not looking so good. I'm like, well, he had Humana. They say, yeah, but And they did this and they took his lung out and they did this and I'm like, they was telling me all kind of horror shit and I'm like, and I'm not exactly, don't repeat me on that, but they was in there doing something. And they was like, we're trying to save him. And I'm like, oh, they got him. He was like, he recovering. He's stable right now. I'm like, okay, he gonna be all good. Then all of a sudden, he gone. I'm like, how the fuck you go from being stable to gone? Niggas and I got mad. I was mad. I was really fucking mad. I was mad at a lot of people. Unfounded for no reason. Cause the Almighty spoke. And ain't nobody trumping that, but I was mad. I was mad. I was mad. Like, this shit didn't have to happen. Like, fuck this nigga didn't listen, man. Fuck nobody didn't go put this nigga in the headlock. Fuck these nigga, let this nigga go out here and get ambushed like that. You know goddamn well he don't know LA ways. Fuck. Oh, I was mad. But what you gonna do? And we just, only thing at that point is my love for Snoop. Is my shit was like, well, I just got to tapping in. I hit to hit some people. What's up with Snoop? Was Snoop around? He was like, yeah, Snoop didn't come out here. Ask, where Snoopy at? Snoopy, he ain't show up. He ain't feel like dealing with Suge shit. He was cool with Pac. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna build, but I don't think he was seeing eye to eye with Sugar Bear, so he ain't pull up or something. I said, well, where he at? I don't know where he at, but he ain't up here in the melee. So I was like, well, that's good enough for me.